I'm 200% sure that there's been one point in your life where you met that one girl, that one random person who is like, oh, just like, it seems like life is just easy for me. It seems like things just happen for me that, oh, I found $5 on the street the other day. Oh, this nice man helped me out in this. Nothing sketchy happened. Oh, this. That one person that you see them and you feel like luck is just chasing them all the time. And you're like, why is this person having this amazing life where they don't seem to like get stressed or they don't seem to like struggle too much? And I'm here living a misery life, living shit, and I have to work so hard for everything, and this person seems to have it so easy. And this is what I feel like I've seen on people call it like the lucky girl syndrome. And it's something that, it's not something that just happens to you. It's something that you can create for yourself, because I have had times in my life where I've been that lucky girl and times in my life where I haven't. And I realized like, okay, why was I like having all these cool things happen to me at some point, and then I kind of lost it, and then I came back to being a normal person, if you want to call it that. And I realized like what went into both of them, and I'm going to teach you or tell you like what I did to kind of like get into that mentality and kind of like become that lucky girl, because it's not complicated. Anyone can become that lucky girl, lucky person. I'm just saying girl because I've just seen everyone say lucky girl, and I feel like my public is mostly female. I don't know. So how do you do it to become that lucky person? I feel like the first thing, the most important thing is that this is honestly all about mindset. It's all about like your mentality right now, probably if you're watching this video, is that I am an unlucky person. I'm not that lucky girl. So the first thing that you should do is ask yourself, how am I the lucky girl? How am I the lucky person? And even if you want to make a list right now, even if you want to make it in the comments of like, think about all the good things, like it comes down to gratitude at the end of the day, of like, think of all the good things that you do have in your life right now. Think about like, oh, I do have a job. I have access to a phone, internet. I mean, you're watching this video somehow, so you must have access to something to be watching this. And kind of like take nothing as a base. Don't think of like, oh, but everyone else has this. No, no, no. Gratitude is like thinking about like, you're like, imagine yourself being like the worst situation possible, like someone who's starving in Africa or something, and just build from there of like all the amazing things that you have. Gratitude is the way for you to jump from being like the person that you are right now into that lucky girl, lucky person mentality. Because at the end of the day, it's all about perspective. It's all about how you see your life. You think that lucky girl has nothing bad ever happened to her? No, that's not true. I've had things happen to me while I was like in that lucky girl mindset. And it's not that I thought like, oh, my life is shit and then I'm suddenly gonna go back. But the thing that usually made me shift from like lucky girl to like normal person was the fact that I've had a rough childhood. And I feel like most of the lucky girl people that I know, I'm gonna refer to them as lucky girl, even though I refer to men, trans, non-binary, whatever, okay? Just for the video. But I feel like most of the lucky people that I know, lucky girls that I know, it's usually there are people like, if they're not aware of what they're doing and everything just seems to be going fine for them and they cannot explain to you like what I'm gonna explain to you now, it's because they usually had like a nice family, nice upbringing, nice everything. When you come from a traumatized childhood and whatever, which I feel like is also a few of you, it's not that easy to kind of like just naturally tap into that mindset. You just have to like change some things, unlearn some things, relearn the new things, and all of that. And what I realized is that becoming that lucky girl person is all about perspective. It's all about kind of like finding why you are that lucky girl. Because if you think to yourself, oh, I'm not lucky, oh, my life is shit, then life is going to be shit. If you think of yourself like, oh, how am I lucky? Let's ask myself like, how am I lucky? Oh, I get to drink really good coffee every morning, which for me is like one of the most amazing things ever. Oh, I have this really beautiful room that I can live in and not really pay rent because I live with my parents and they pay for a lot of things. Oh, I have these books, I have an iPad, I have a computer, I have this, I have a job, and I just like start making a list of all these things. And once you have that, as I was saying before, sorry, just like I drifted away. If you think that the lucky girl is not someone who like struggles, you're completely wrong. We like lucky girls do struggle. I do struggle. It's just seeing it from the perspective of like, if something bad happens to you, let's say like you get fired from a job, for example, the lucky girl's mentality toward that is gonna be always of like, oh, it wasn't meant to be. That means that I'm just gonna find something better. Because that means like you're not attached to anything. You're just like enjoying life for what it is, but you're not really attached to anything, and you always know that things happen for a reason. And when you have that mentality, you are able to navigate life way easier than anyone else, because I've had times in my life where like if I attached my worth or my validation or something to a job, to a person, to a group of friends, to a house, to whatever, that's when things go wrong. That's when you are always kind of like going through these up and downs of emotions, which is something that I've gone through like many times. And I don't know if it's because of the way that I was raised or what it was, but I used to attach my worth to everyone else but me. And at the end of the day, your worth should be inside of you, and you should know that you're worthy no matter what happens. So the moment you stop attaching yourself or your worth or you stop validating yourself from like outside things, like a job, a house, an opportunity, whatever, you just know that you're worthy. You just know that everything just happens to you for a reason, and everything that happens to you happens for you. Not like as in a bad thing, but like when the universe decides like, hey, you're not gonna get this opportunity, you're gonna be like, oh, that means that something else is better out there. That's something that my sister actually experienced recently. Like she was leaving a house that they were living in, like with her boyfriend. It was like shitty conditions and everything. And they kept on looking for a house, and they found so many houses that seemed like the one, but then for some reason they were like, oh, someone else got it first. Oh, your paperwork is not good enough. Your salary is not good enough. And I remember seeing like her boyfriend getting so upset and upset and stressed and everything. And she was just like, because my sister's really good at this, and she was just like, this just means we're gonna get a better one. And the house they ended up getting now is like so much better than all the others, and it was easy breezy for them to get it. And this is something different. It's like, you don't have to kill yourself, you don't have to like force yourself in certain situations. It's just like, if things happen for you and they flow easily, they're meant for you, and if they're not, they're not. Which doesn't mean that some things require work. I'm not saying that, because when it comes to relationships, like healthy relationships, for example, for me, I feel like they do require like a bit of work, especially when you've been traumatized and you have attachment issues and all of that. But I've had this happen with jobs recently too, where I've been like killing myself to get like this one client to sign with me, and then they would be like, oh, let me talk to my manager first. Then they ghost me for a week, and then they're like, oh, let me schedule a call for like later today or tomorrow. The call came along, and I just like started feeling so much anxiety, where I was like, things should not be this difficult for me. And then the moment I was just like, I'm just gonna let go, because I just feel like this client, even though I need the money right now, this client is not it for me. I let go of that. I told them like, you know what, I'm not able to do this meeting. And I told this to this one client a week or two ago. And then I had the client come in the next day being like, I think they wanted to pay half of what the other client wanted, but I mean, it was less work also, so like it was proportional. And they were like, hey Ada, found you on TikTok, really love your content, I really want you to manage this and this, I'm gonna pay you, how much do you want, I can make the transfer right now, we can start working right now. And it was just easy. Like, he called me, we talked for like 20 minutes, super nice guy, and it just happened. And I was like, you see the difference of like this being like hard work, struggle, and this just being easy breezy. So being the lucky girl also means kind of like choosing the easy is maybe not the right word, but choosing like the opportunities that flow to you. Because sometimes things will also sometimes like halfway flow to you, because I've had this happen before, where like someone has been like, oh, I have this opportunity for you, this and this and that. I was so excited, and then that opportunity just disappeared into thin air, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? But the thing and the key to this is that you don't attach yourself to these things, and don't think like, oh my God, they probably found someone else because I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. Because if you start thinking about all of that, that's when you get out of like the lucky girl mentality. So basically, practice gratitude every day. Practice gratitude right now. If you want to leave in the comments like everything that you're grateful for right now, for everyone here to kind of like attract that lucky girl energy, please do that and just support each other, because I feel like that's a fun way to start with these things. And second thing is, start to change your mentality. Start to think of yourself as like, hey, I'm a lucky girl, and I'm gonna see everything from the perspective of I'm a lucky girl. So you can even practice this for like a day or like a week, or, well, I mean, the key here is for you to practice this forever, but you can practice this for like the next 24 hours and be like, okay, I'm gonna see everything that happens today, good or bad, through that lens, and through not attaching my worth to external things. I'm just gonna attach my worth to myself. And that's it. And I know this takes practice, because this does not come easy to you, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you see everything from that lens, it's gonna end up becoming something that's ingrained in your brain. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and all of those things, and I'll see you guys next week.